This is a relatively new podcast, and because of that, there's quite a lot of back and forth between you and I while we are organising things.
Figuring out what we're doing.
You sent me a really encouraging message. I wrote the music for the podcast.
Yeah.
And your text to me was, I've been humming our theme song all day, so it obviously works. So I've written songs about animals before, but the lyrics did most of the heavy lifting to make it animally. And I thought podcasts are just us talking. And so I didn't want to have lyrics in the theme tune as well. I was looking out into the garden watching your dog walk.
Yeah.
And she has the most amazing internal rhythm. When you really look at an animal move, is not how you imagine it to be. And so I did left-hand octave, so you had dup, 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 dup. And then how absorbed she was in what she was doing. So she was probably smelling some cat. Don't know what it was that she was up to. It references I Got Rhythm because I was looking at the rhythm of her, but I didn't want it to swing. And so I wrote a new melody, but it was, to make it a bit more English, it was like a really gentle march.
Okay.
And so that's how you get the Other musicians have looked to animals for inspiration.
Okay.
And so I'm going to play you excerpts and would love you to guess what animal the composer had in mind.
Okay. Let's do it. This feels very elegant to me. I don't think it's something that moves on land. I feel like this is either flight or something in the ocean. It makes me think of like a seal or a sea lion kind of dancing underwater.
I must say that your first guess was a little more on the money, that it might...
bird.
Flight,
yeah.
We've got... This is a piece by Grieg. I realised that Grieg is a lot better than I am. But
no.
He wrote a series of 10 books called the Lyric Pieces book. It's called Butterfly.
Is it? Oh, okay.
And you're so right, that swirling flight movement.
Yeah.
There's no way it could be...
It's graceful. Yeah, it's not something on land.
All right, on to the next one. So we have a bit more music for you now.
I feel like this is some majestic bird along the lines of maybe like peacock or flamingo, or I don't think it's like a predatory. It doesn't feel ominous, the music, but it feels very flamboyant and like a display. So I'm going to go for like a peacock maybe.
Now, I really love some of the elements of what you said. So there are two parts
but
to
it's
the
wrong.
title. Well, the title's very descriptive. This was Richard Strauss, and it was written in 1897, and it was inspired by the Spanish novel Don Quixote, and it's called The Battle with the Sheep.
Well, I was not getting sheep from that.
But I think that you can more than be forgiven for that, because in the book, then there's a delusional man who has read too many books about chivalry and he loses touch with reality and decides that he himself is a knight. So when you mentioned pageantry
Yes.
and a feeling of stateliness, that's exactly right. And in Don Quixote's imagination, he goes to battle with the vast army of what he believes is the great emperor. In reality, the army is a herd of sheep.
Okay.
He's losing his mind.
Insta versus reality, really.
One more.
I'm picturing like little mountain goats playing on top of like a rocky crevasse and building up to doing a big leap. Is that completely wrong? Or is something jumping? I feel like it's something that jumps.
Well, to be honest, it's one of those where you can't really be wrong, because this is Camille Saint-Saëns and it's from the Carnival of the Animals.
Oh,
and so there's an enormous march. I mean, it is specifically a section called the Royal March of the Lions. But
for lions, I would say something, because they're such top predators, you'd want something with a bit of an ominous element to it. Or I would, predatory. None of these have felt like predators to me.
Camille Saint-Saëns took a break from writing his third symphony to compose a suite of music just for fun, and it's a musical portrait of various animals, and he titled the work The Carnival of the Animals. It was performed privately in 1886, but the tortured artist in him refused to publish it before his death, fearing that a light-hearted work would ruin his reputation as a serious composer.
Oh, no, you need some light-heartedness.
I think animals just provided a really helpful inspiration to him. He was struggling, he had writer's block, and all of a sudden the animal kingdom made his imagination quite a fertile place. But isn't that sad? He was so frightened of being judged, he wouldn't let it be performed until after he died.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? They say as an artist, take your work seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. But you can get so hung up on what you think, on fear of being judged, can't you?
It doesn't matter.
Just play. Yeah. Also experimentation, because 9/10 of what you create might be utter garbage. But if you can get enough 10%, then...
We could have named this podcast the 10%.
Is it though?
I reckon
Is it the 10% that's good?
Right, so I have a bit more on music for animals. I recorded an album last week.
Yeah.
And I arrived at the recording studio, but I walked in, there were no people, but there was an enormous blonde Labrador.
Did you say hello to it and introduce yourself?
Right, what do you do when you meet a brand new dog? You immediately drop to your knees and say, I love you, and make a big fuss of the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog gave me like a human hug. Like it put its paws around. And this dog fell head over heels in love with me.
Yeah.
Right away.
Aww.
And once recording began, unfortunately, it was going to be noisy and we couldn't really have a dog in there. They've got real sensitive ears. And the dog really sulked and refused to go.
Oh, this sounds like Molly.
And then the owner's like, right, we've got to leave now. And then I said, oh, yeah, does he do this with everyone he meets? And then the guy's like, no, he doesn't actually. And the dog looked so upset. And then as the owner was walking him away, the dog would not break eye contact with me.
I wonder what it was.
He
obviously just sensed a kindred spirit. Or did you have some cheese?
I promise I didn't. I didn't bring any food.
Had you eaten like a cheese sandwich and the smell was still lingering like in your pocket or on your bag or something?
I wondered if
they
there
are
was...
fickle.
So here you have me outside a recording studio door with a blonde Labrador dog. At no point would the dog look even in the vague direction of the camera because it only had eyes for me.
Oh, the look of love. I do feel like it's sniffing you for treats.
The only risk to having a dog in a recording studio is that the removal of the dog ruins the rest of the day.
Yes. Yeah. So when I first moved to London when I was like 20 something, and I temped a lot, so those actor survival jobs, and one of my temping jobs was in Battersea Dogs and Cats Home, which is a brilliant organisation. I don't have a bad word to say about them. They do amazing work, and quite often any dog or cat that was not doing too well in the kennels would just come into the offices for the day just to like give them a break. And it was so interesting because they'd come out of kennels. These were the ones that were a bit stressed, or puppies, because it's good to get them around people. And they would pace the offices. For like 2 hours, they would just pace. And then they would kind of realise that this was like a nice, calm, safe place. And then they would just sleep because they couldn't really switch off and relax. Because kennels is obviously quite stressful. So you just come and sleep by your feet. And I would do my work day with like a different dog at my feet. It was so lovely. And I feel like every office would be a better place for having like a dog or like a basket of kittens. One day my boss came in and just put like a basket of kittens on my desk and just asked me to keep an eye on them for a couple of hours. And I was like, how lovely. We need more of that in the world.
I performed once and there was a mental health dog in the dressing room.
Oh.
And they said, right, you're going to play with this dog now.
Yeah.
And when you come off, the dog will be here ready for you.
Yeah. That would massively calm my nerves before going on stage. Massively.
Well, I realised that the next time I saw that dog, it would all be over.
Yeah. Because you can just ruminate over everything that's just happened, can't you? And dissect it. And maybe you just need to get yourself a dog.
I really would love a dog very, very much. There is something which is a growing area of research, and it's called zoo musicology. And it's the study of the musical aspects of sound in communication as made by or received by animals.
So is this basically trying to translate and communicate with their noises or not?
This is how animals might use music to communicate with one another.
Yes, okay.
And research has been done, but the results aren't necessarily conclusive. But there is a theory at the moment. Funnily enough, the woman who's put forward this theory's surname is Doolittle, which I thought
amazing. That's so good.
That insects communicate with one another via around a dozen songs.
Ah.
But they're really hard to discern because of their low volume or amplitude.
Yeah.
An insect might only have the need for like 12 reasons to communicate with another.
Yeah.
A threat or prey or romance or...
Yeah.
They don't have like a human brain. They don't need to formulate...
No, they don't need to like
thoughts.
declare their undying love or anything.
But they might be able to remember 12 musical phrases.
Yeah.
And it might be easier for them to commit that to memory the way it's often easier to remember the chorus of a pre-existing song than it is to improvise a poem on the spot.
Okay.
A little repertoire where they just sing to each other, oh, prey's coming, or oh, she looks nice, or whatever it is that insects think about.
Well, bumblebees dance, don't they? They dance to alert the other bees that they've found a good spot for a hive or particularly good flowers. They do a little dance.
In my head, the image of bumblebees dancing, I'm wondering, is it like a wing thing?
I don't know, but it's a dance.
I was researching and I found a really delightful article title.
Okay.
Why are farmers playing jazz music to cows?
Well, who doesn't like a bit of jazz? Does it like increase their productivity, I imagine? Their milk productivity?
Yeah, a long-running rumour...
It's never really about their well-being, it's more about their...
Well, a long-running rumour that the music can impact cows. It's been reignited by a dairy farmer from Nuneaton called Charles Godby. And he's begun playing jazz music to his herd of cows.
Why jazz? Did he go through different genres and just settle on?
The reason it's been suggested is that the mechanic noises of modern milking are not remotely relaxing or natural.
No, okay, I can understand that.
And that jazz music, before and during milking, not only is it relatively soothing, but is almost like Pavlov's dog, where the dog was trained to be fed upon hearing a bell and came to expect the experience of food when it heard the bell.
Yeah.
If cows hear a bit of jazz...
They assume it's milking time.
Their hormones go up.
Yeah,
and they start producing more milk. But it's also been suggested that the reason that jazz works is that there is a rhythm to it. It's swung. And like music genres with swing... apparently increase hip mobility. And I read that and I thought, does that mean they're dancing?
Yeah, or like sort of moving a bit.
I mean, and I wonder
strange.
how much it makes a difference, because you think of a cow almost like a child's toy of a cow. Like they're not leggy animals,
they're
like
very
a
solid.
horse. But maybe if they just move a bit, if they're standing for a long time and they're hearing a bit of jazz, maybe it helps to keep them supple. I don't know.
Maybe. That is.
That out there's jazz music.
We're all better for a bit of jazz.